Well, hello everybody. Hi. Welcome to Starry Tarot. Good to see everybody. Hi E. Hope you are doing well. Yeah, I just have to move my laptop, so configuration's a little odd. Hi, my name is Sophie. For those of you who don't know, welcome to Starry Tarot. I am your friendly tarot reader for tonight. I can answer any of your questions, with the exception of medical and or legal questions. Tonight we are using the adorable little Twin Stars tarot deck. I love this deck so much. I know I used the Cinema Roll deck the other day, but we're still on a Sanrio roll, so to speak. I love this deck. It's so totally cute, so very cute, and it still keeps the original RWS art, but it's just kawaii and cute and Sanrio-fied. I can answer any of your questions. I answer a lot of romance questions. I answer a lot of work-related questions, spirituality-related questions. I even do general messages from your angels, messengers, and spirit guides. If you know you have something that's on your mind, but you don't exactly know how to question it or put it into words, that's usually a good direction to go. But I also provide mediumship services. I can communicate with those who have passed on, not absolutely everybody, but most. So I do ask if that is something that you are indeed interested in tonight. I do ask that you check in with me beforehand and give me a person's, just basic information, just the day they were born, the day they passed, and their name. Picture is helpful, but not necessary. 95% of the time I can get in touch with those who have passed on, but there are certain times when I can't, and there have been times where I felt badly because somebody donated for a mediumship and then I couldn't get through to the person. However, when that did happen, the reasoning for that person was because the person had just recently passed, which can render it difficult for them to communicate with me and for them to communicate with me and vice versa, because they're processing what they've just left, this earthly plane. But then we were able to get in contact with that person about a month later. So that was interesting. And I've seen that happen before too. If we're not able to the first time, sometimes if we wait a little bit, unless they've reincarnated, unless they've been gone off this earthly plane for so long, they've likely reincarnated, and that's not likely to happen. Also, I did a mediumship reading earlier this week for a client of mine, and I had contacted the person who we were contacting in the past. I checked beforehand just in case, as I always do, but I've realized that I've never been able to get in touch with someone and then not be able to get in touch with them the second time, consecutive times after. Once someone lets me communicate with them, they've let me communicate with them, is what I have found. But I'm constantly learning new stuff because there's no manual when it comes to this. I also provide soulmate confirmation readings. I don't believe in the whole twin flames theory. I know a lot of readers do. I know a lot of spiritual healers do. But I don't. I'm not going to get into it unless somebody's really interested. I've gotten into it before. I should actually just make a video about why I personally don't agree with the twin flames theory. But I do believe in soulmates, and I do believe in love, and I do believe in fated love. And I have a reading that I do in which I directly ask your angels, your ancestral guides, your spirit guides, whether the person you are curious about is indeed a soulmate of yours. And this does not have to be a romantic partner. It doesn't have to be a potential romantic partner. It can be a friend, it could be a coworker, it could be a neighbor, it could be a family member. You can ask about anybody who you're curious about. It doesn't have to be romantic. And then, and they will answer yes or no if this person is indeed a soulmate, why or why not. We can also ask it a different way. We can ask your guides if they give their blessing. If they give their blessing towards a certain person in your life, I will say that with a caveat, a little bit of a warning there. Our spirit guides, think of how your relatives and your family members want the best for you, and they have the highest standards for you. Well, so do your angels and your ancestral guides. They're often related to you. They're often your ancestors. They're just on the other side, but they still want absolutely what's best for you and have very high standards. Have people gotten Spirit's blessing before? Absolutely. Absolutely. Is it rare? Somewhat. So when you do get Spirit's blessing regarding someone in your life, again, it does not have to be romantic. It can be within any context. Definitely take it as a very positive sign. I also offer past life regression therapy. I have been studying past life regression therapy for many years. Basically, as soon as I learned how to read, I started reading about astrology and past life regression. And I have undergone past life regression. I've had other people put me through past life regression. It's fascinating. Through guided meditation and hypnosis, I have guided others through past life regression through guided meditation. I've not been able to hypnotize anybody at this point, but I have guided others through guided meditation prior to learning, it came to me one day. This was prior to when I started doing tarot professionally. And I started this channel almost 5 years ago, and about 2 years into it, I noticed that I was getting visions that were not just very similar to my past life regression work, but identical in their nature. And it was always during readings for clients, just general readings, messages from my spirit guides, what do they want me to know? And I realized I was channeling past lives of my clients. And so then I started offering it directly. I mean, I would bring it to people's attention bring it to my client's attention during a reading. I'd say, this is actually a past life of yours. And then I figured out what was happening. Is I was doing past life regression through tarot and through my connection with spirit. And so now I offer it as a separate thing. If you are interested, please let me know. It is absolutely fascinating. And as I have in the description there with Nightbot, it doesn't have to be with the intention of like having a past life illustrated to you that's most relevant to your current life or your current struggles or trials and tribulations, burdens, what have you, challenges that you're trying to navigate. It could also be, you can also ask Spirit to illustrate, and I think this is actually very advantageous, especially if you're needing a little bit of a gratitude boost. Asking Spirit to illustrate a past life of yours that was the most challenging, and or the least fortunate. Those are always very, very interesting. Really helps us realize just how much we do have in this life and what we should be grateful for and mindfully grateful for. As I mentioned earlier, I answer all sorts of questions with the exception of medical or legal questions. I answer a lot of romance questions, and if that is something that you are interested in, I get a lot of people asking, what is so-and-so's thoughts towards me? What are so-and-so's feelings? What are so-and-so's intentions towards me? I can answer all three in one question with my OG love reading. I also call it the TFI spread, stands for thoughts, feelings, and intentions. And we can do it with a mini reading. We can do it with a full, just 10 cards, or we can do it with an in-depth, which is 15. Doesn't matter. And it pulls, their thoughts towards you, their feelings towards you, their intentions towards you if they have them, and their general energies towards you as well as yours. So it's a very, very thorough, reading that answers 3 questions in one. So I highly recommend it, and it's no additional donation amount. It's the same amount as I currently don't have pinned to the top of my chat, of which I am doing right now. Okay. I also provide private readings that are not on this live stream. I offer 2 different types. I offer them by appointment only via Zoom, and the setup is pretty much identical to what I have here. You see my table, my cards, you see me, and it's just you and me, one-on-one, my full undivided attention. You can give me all the backstory, all the context you would like. We can answer as many questions as you need, pull as many cards as you need, just get to the bottom of whatever is perhaps troubling you or something that you're questioning right now. And I recommend private readings really for everyone. They're just very comprehensive and very helpful, very, very useful. At least that's what my clients tell me. And really allow me to get to know you better, and especially if you're going through something that's like particularly multifaceted, has multiple layers of challenges or I don't know, conflicts that you're looking to be able to figure out how to navigate. So highly recommend that. And we can, we schedule it for a, designated amount of time, half an hour, 2 hours, however long you want it to be. If we end up going over, or if you end up needing more time, that's fine. If we both have time permitting, so you can always do that as well. And then I also offer another type of private reading, which is at no additional donation amount. It still offers that level of discretion that one-on-one readings offer. It's not on a live stream, it's not on YouTube, it's private between you and me. And everything on here is confidential in as much as I don't share this with other people, but it is on YouTube. But if there's something that you don't want on YouTube, I can read for you offline. Also, if I'm not online for whatever reason and you have a question that you need me to answer, you can just send me your donation, and I always have a deck of cards on me. Even if I'm traveling, I always have a deck of cards on me. So I can get back to you at the very latest within a 24-hour turnaround, but I can usually do it within 1 to 2 hours, sometimes even sooner than that. And again, that's no additional donation amount. Just send me your donation, and we do that over Instagram, DMs, voice memos, or typed over email. But I have had some clients send me donations and then not put their question. Just make sure you give me your question, otherwise I don't know what to ask and I don't know what to do. So make sure you post your question and remind me of your sign and whoever you're asking about sign, as well as give me names. I can't read for people if they don't have a name. I can't read, say, like for the Virgo or the Aquarius. It has to be an actual name. So with that, I think I have covered all the bases there in terms of my spiel. Yeah, I've implemented a new system. I guess it's not really that important to mention right now, but I will, just for the sake of things. I've had some people, when the queue is a little long, I've had people, ask, how long is the queue, blah, 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 because I know they only have a certain amount of time to wait. If you don't have time to wait in the queue, yet you need your reading, you can always donate an additional $5 and to skip the queue, and you will be read for. With priority. So yeah, with that having been said, the donation queue is currently open. So whoever donates next will be read for first tonight. Thank you very, very much. And we just received our first donation from Miss Marissa. Thank you so much, hun, for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Hi, Marissa. How are you? Good to see you. Will Vaughn, Gemini Man, come back to see me this month? Will Vaughn come back to see you this month? Okay. Did Marquez end up paying you back on Wednesday, Marissa? I was thinking about that. Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? And you're a Gemini too, right, hon? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? Use messages and spirit guides. Will Vaughn come back to see Marissa this month? No, I'm so sorry, Marissa. That sucks. I was just gonna call him something not very nice, but I don't like naming names. But I'm really sorry, Marissa. I really hope that you 86 him from your life. That is so disrespectful. Okay, we have Page of Wands reversed, Six of Cups, Nine of Swords reversed, Judgment reversed, and Knight of Wands reversed. Okay. This doesn't look great, but great is relative. What I mean it doesn't look great is I'm assuming that you would like him to see you, come back to see you by the end of this month. Spirit's saying no. We've got both the Page of Wands reversed and the kicker, the real big one here is this Knight of Wands reversed. The Knight of Wands is the man of action. I also joke, and I'm sure I've made this joke with you before, Marissa. I also joke that this is the guy with his in his hands, his willy in his hands, and thinks with his and acts with his player energy. We do have it reversed. I get player energy from Vaughn too, but I also get that I feel like he's putting this on pause. He's not moving forward. He's not taking action. Page of Wands is also an action card, taking action, using one's wand and moving forward. There's something that he is concerned about. It's not that he hasn't lost affection for you with the Six of Cups. And I don't feel like he's lost affection for you. There's something going on here. Did you guys get into an argument the last time you spoke? Because there's something that he is avoiding. It's something he doesn't want to worry about. With this Nine of Swords reverse, Judgment reverse, it's something he doesn't want to worry about. And okay, well, there's something that he doesn't want to have to like worry or think about, and there's some kind of a like judgment that he's afraid of befalling him, that he doesn't want to stand forward and have that. And I'm not saying that you're preparing to judge him, but how long have the two of you been talking, seeing each other? Because this feels more like not wanting to take things to the next level, that kind. Because Judgment upright is like the next stage, is almost always indicative of like taking things to the next stage, taking things to the next level, taking things to another level of seriousness. If, you know, depending on how serious things were prior. And Judgment reversed is like an avoidance of taking those things into account. You've known him for years, okay? And have you guys been dating for years, or is this kind of a new thing? And when was the last time you guys saw each other and spoke? Because this is not to say that he's never going to see you ever again. Is he long distance too? Because there's something also like like I said, I'm not getting the sense that it's like, oh, I don't like Marissa, so I don't want to see her. That's not what I'm feeling here. It's more. Well, there's quite a few things I'm feeling. He's the one with the baby mama. Okay. And is he long distance? Oh, no, he's not. I don't think he's long, but he's the one with the baby mama. Okay. Yeah, with this Knight of Wands reverse, Page of Wands reverse, it's not like he's not wanting to move forward out of not having feelings for you or not liking you. It's more. Oh, yeah. Okay, that. It's like I was just going to say, I was wondering if it was long distance, because it's like, it's too much. I hate to put it this way, but at this time, it would be too much effort for him, too much energetic effort, too much time, effort, like resources that he doesn't have at this time in order to see you. And by like resources, I mean like how much energy he legit has, how much money he legit has to see you, how much time he legit has to see you, and if I don't know I forget how old his child is, but with this Nine of Swords reverse, it's like he's got things that he's concerned about and has worries about, and it could be getting caught by his baby mama with this Nine of Swords reversed. And I also do feel like a call, like an internal call, not just an internal conflict of like, I'm afraid of getting caught, but also like I've got a lot on my plate, a lot of responsibilities that I need to take care of. And while as much as I would like to see Marissa, it's just not something that I have the reserves for. It's not. He doesn't have the bandwidth, the energetic bandwidth for that right now. Again, I can't stress this enough. I'm not. It's not a personal affront towards you. actually want just a little bit of clarity too. It's not a personal like he doesn't like you type thing at all. If I felt like he was, if I felt that, I would tell you. This, like, especially with the Six of Cups, this to me is like, yeah, he would ideally like to see you, but it's a lot. It's a lot for him. To take the time out and do it, to see you, and there are risks involved as well with this Nine of Swords reversed, Judgment reversed. Sorry, I was just, a thought came to my mind and then it just went away. I was just thinking about something here. This Nine of Swords reverse. Yeah, stress is becoming really. Yeah, Nine of Swords reverse is also representative of guilt, shame, and stress is becoming very real. Stressors that were there and were real in the past, but are becoming more of a reality now. And I don't know how old his child is. You've probably told me. I'm sorry, I forget. But I am getting this energy of a call to responsibility in terms of reserving, like I said, his energies, of which he doesn't have a whole lot of time and energy to begin with right now. Ideally, he would like to see you with that Six of Cups, but there are very real external factors that that make him hesitant in going forth with that Knight of Wands reverse, Page of Wands reverse. That's definitely like holding one's horses. So it's not to say, again, it's not to say that he's done with you or doesn't want to see you again. I don't think you felt. I hope you don't feel that way, because I don't. I certainly don't get that sense at all. It's like he's got other things going on that he does need to take care of, and he oftentimes doesn't want to be responsible. He oftentimes doesn't want to have to take care of those things, and feels tempted not to. But at the end of the day, I do think he really, like, he fantasizes and dreams about you a lot with that Six of Cups. Six of Cups is like looking at someone very fondly, thinking about someone very fondly. Like, his life's very stressful. It's not a lot of fun. Thinking of you is a nice, like, diversion from that. But when it comes to the nuts and bolts, it's kind of hard. It's not kind of. It's really hard. There's a few. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's a few factors at hand. Yeah. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing for you, Miss Marissa. I'm glad it makes sense. And thank you for clarifying some of that information for me as well. I'd forgotten about the baby mama thing. That really did clarify a lot there. And how long you guys have known each other as well. There's definitely a fondness that runs deeply, that's not going anywhere, you know. But just at this time, it's tough to navigate it. You're so welcome, Marissa. You are very welcome, love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, and glad that made sense. Hope I brought you some clarity there. All right. Get back there. All right, so we are all caught up with donations. So if you would like a reading, please send in your donation and you will be read for next. Thank you very, very much. And we just received a donation. Thank you very, very much, Tiffany, for your donation, love. Just gonna wait. Thank you. Thank you, Muffy. Thank you so much, hun. Good to see you. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you very much. You would like a general reading, and you are an Aries. You got it. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides. Please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages that she needs to hear at this time. Angels, Masters, and Spirit Guides, please provide Tiffany with any and all messages she needs to hear at this time. Three of Wands reversed, Ace of Cups reversed, Six of Wands, Four of Swords, and Six of Pentacles reversed. Okay. All right. There's a few messages I'm getting here. The first message that I'm getting is patience. Patience, patience, patience. Patience is a virtue. Patience is of the essence at this time in your life. That might mean something more to you in the context of your life than it does to me. Like perhaps there's something that you're waiting on, like a message from somebody or a confirmation from like a job or a school or something like that. But Spirit is saying that patience is of the essence right now. To be patient, because you will see results. And we're also, I think we're in Mercury retrograde right now, if I'm not mistaken. If not now, it's coming up real soon. Let me double check. Let's see, we've got, did it start today? Yeah, today, we just started Mercury retrograde today. So there will likely be delays in communication and messaging, and it could be regarding, any of the aforementioned things, like messages from individuals, messages from like corporations, messages from the schools, anything to that effect. Ace of Cups reversed is, I do see this quite a bit in people's general readings. Spirit is saying that, and I'm not, this is not my opinion, and this is not Spirit saying that you don't love yourself, but Spirit is saying that they've noticed a recent lack of, I don't want to say self-love, self-care, self-investment, spending time and enjoying spending time with oneself, doing good things for oneself, for one's health, for one's physical countenance, but really investing, and I'm not trying to sound like, you know, it's also simple. Just love yourself, girl. I know it can be easier said than done, and it doesn't mean you don't love yourself, but to actively love oneself, to really have this be upright, this Ace of Cups. I often, Spirit often wants to see their people. How do I put it? Spirit often wants to see us loving ourselves as though we were our own mother, or as though we were our own child. So really focus on self-care, self-love. If there's been and if you possibly notice a neglect there, because sometimes I notice that I'll be like, damn, like I haven't done a face mask in a while, or I haven't done this in a while for myself, or just these little things that I do for myself. We've got this, and then we've got this. I'm leaving all the good stuff till the end because we've got definitely 5 different individual messages here. The Six of Pentacles reversed. Six of Pentacles reversed is a signifier of, first, some type of imbalance, but what I'm getting from this is more of a lack of a return on some type of investment. And it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be specifically a financial investment. It could be an emotional investment. It could be you're putting in more time and effort in a friendship than another person is, or maybe a relationship, or maybe it could have to do with one's workplace. Putting in maybe overtime and then not getting overtime pay, or but there's something about you not getting what you at this time, like you're I don't want to say you're getting shafted, but there's one specific area in your life where, and you may have noticed it too, where you feel like you're just putting in way more than the other person or the other entity is doing, and you know your value, you know your worth, and it can feel very frustrating. And Spirit is saying to take some time, like now, and I don't know if you can take some time out for yourself, but the Four of Swords is often assigned to take some time out for yourself, take a breather. But I don't, we don't always have the time and resources to do that. But with the time and resources that you do have, at the very least, I would start meditating once a day, or implementing a new type of exercise routine, or like a new walk or something that would allow you to escape from the everyday realities and responsibilities that we have. Taking time out for you to process those things, and to for example, like this Six of Pentacles reverse situation that I'm describing here, thinking about the areas in your life in which you are putting in more than you're getting a return, and thinking about ways in which you can change that, or ways in which you possibly can't change that. And if you can't change that, thinking about ways in which you can possibly pivot and shift, to not be in a situation like that. But I see a huge victory, some real big win on the horizon for you, Tiffany, with this beautiful Six of Wands right in the center here. This is a win. This is a success. This is something turning out in your favor. Something totally turning out in your favor. And I do believe there's a correlation with this Three of Wands reversed here and this Six of Wands too. This Six of Wands victory on the horizon, it's like Spirit is saying, like, just hold on, just wait. Just you wait and see. There's going to be a big win of some type for you. You're going to see something work out exactly the way that you would want to see it pan out. And it shouldn't take too much more time. I don't think it'll take longer than at least, at the longest, whatever it is that you might be waiting for or waiting on, I see coming to fruition. I see it coming to fruition at the very longest by the end of this year. And that's the very longest. But there's something that's fated, there's something fated, there's something wonderful that's meant to happen in your life, that's going to be a success, that's going to be a win. I just want a little bit more clarity while we're here. Yeah, the Six of Wands is it's not just a win, it's not just a victory, it's not just things turning out the way that you would like them to. But I think this also correlates to the Six of Pentacles reversed as well. You knowing your value, you knowing your worth, and Six of Wands is usually being rewarded, getting paid, acknowledgement of one's work, one's efforts. So if you have been neglected a little bit or overlooked, possibly like at work or school, wherever you spend most of your time, I do see things turning around. I do see a shift coming. And one that's definitely for the positive. Six of Wands is always a great card. V for victory. That's what we want to see. We want to see wins. We want to see a win for you. Multiple wins. Things just turning out the way that you'd like to see them. And that also relates to that Four of Swords card, that meditative card, that meditation card, the power of visualization and manifestation. The more specific we can visualize the way that we want to see the outcomes of different things in our lives, the easier it is for the universe to help deliver whatever it is you're looking to see come to fruition. Because I remind people this a lot, is our angels and our spirit guides. It's like your wish is their command. But like with any wish, be careful what you wish for. Be as specific as possible, because the more specific you can get, and this is beyond just belief in angels, but it also goes with the law of attraction, just the law of like attracts like. When we have a clearer vision of what we want to see manifest in our lives, we tend to be able to attain it much easier, because the details are already laid out for us and are something that we don't have to figure out along the road. So, things look like they are definitely going to be turning around. It looks like, Mercury retrograde, it started today, and it's affecting things for you. But I do see some real positive changes coming from this time as well. Okay. So that is what I see for you, love. Thank you very much for your donation. I really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you some clarity this evening. Thank you, Tiffany. All right, so we are all caught up with donations. So that means the donation queue is open, which means whoever donates next will be read for next. Thank you very much. Jessica, hey love, how are you doing? I'm doing great. Excuse me. I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You're welcome. You are very welcome, Muffy. Thank you. Excuse me. I am doing wonderfully. Thank you for asking, Jessica. Yeah, I had a good weekend. Today, I slept a lot. I'll say that. I did sleep. I definitely caught up on my sleep this weekend. Had a really fun night last night. I discovered a really awesome place, the spa here in the city. It's like a bathhouse, like Russian bathhouse. It's so cool. I went there, ran into someone I knew. That was fun. Yeah, no, I had a good weekend. Today was so warm and lovely. I wish I had gone out earlier, but I slept like a baby. I was so tired. It was it was really nice. I'm so glad. I mean, I've heard about this place for a while. A friend, or an ex, actually told me about it almost a year ago, and I just never went. And yeah, when I was there, I was like, I need to come here like all the time. And I'm shocked I haven't been here. A high of 50. Oh my god. Yeah, it was like 72 today. And like it was cold like in my house, and then I went outside. It was really warm. I'm like, oh, okay, should have gone out today. I'm glad to hear you are doing great, love. You were busy with school work this weekend. Ah, yeah. Speaking of schoolwork, my homework for my Judaism class this week is I have to go on this website, mygewishlearning.org, and there's a whole like list of like 300 like topics, just like topics like abortion, assisted suicide, animals, like anything, like you just like a hot topic, hot or nay, it'll tell you what Judaism thinks about it. And one of the topics is fortune telling. Well, first I searched tarot, and I found an article, and it said if she wants to convert, she has to stop doing it. I'm like, okay, but this was written in 1985. I'm sure my rabbi's fine with it. But then I found another article on fortune telling. So yeah, basically I have to present a little spiel on Wednesday night about tarot reading in Judaism. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Monique is here and is ready for her question. You got it. Monique, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Monique, so do you have one question? Did you want it to be a 10-card reading? Yeah, I mean, my synagogue is so chill and liberal and reform. I'm sure they have nothing against what I do. Even the article I read from 1985, it was like, it's not looked highly upon, but, it's also not the worst thing in the world. You have one. Okay, all right, love. Thank you so much, Monique. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Yeah, and then the second article was like, I think it was written in like the 70s. Basically, both said kind of the same thing. Like, it's not the worst thing, but like you may want to not do it if you want to be accepted into Judaism. But I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out about everything. I just find that hard to believe. That sounds very... My question is, what lessons does Spirit really want me to learn from my relationship with Ivan? Okay. It's an excellent question, Monique. There is, Jessica, and that's the extra thing that I'm going to bring to the table in my report. I'm going to analyze those two articles, and then I'm also going to bring in a book that I've had for a while that I think I've shown you guys. It's written by a rabbi who reads tarot and has read and studied tarot for many years, and his theory is that tarot was actually created by the Jews to study the Torah. It's by the high priestess who has the Torah on her lap. It was actually invented by the Jews to study the Torah covertly. when the Greeks first invaded Israel in like the second century or something like that, way long ago. So I'm gonna bring that book and share that side of things too. Like, well, there's an actual rabbi who does read tarot, so there's that too. Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides. What lessons is Monique supposed to learn from her relationship with Ivan? Okay. With the Lovers reversed, Seven of Cups reversed, Ten of Wands, Justice. Speaking of the High Priestess, we have the High Priestess reversed, Ace of Pentacles reversed, Fool, Death reversed, Ten of Cups reversed, and Four of Wands. I was just going to say, I was just going to ask what so have you guys ended things? Have you ended things with him, Monique, or are you guys still together, or are you guys still on a break? And then I was going to say, wait, I don't need to ask that. That's kind of irrelevant. But no, I think it is very relevant to what I'm answering here. And yes, there is something to be learned from every relationship that we experience, romantic and friendship and family. Every relationship you can think. This is my belief, just personal belief. I believe that we sign a contract, a soul contract, before we enter this planet, and part of it is agreeing to experience all the relationships that we experience, to learn certain things, to benefit from certain things, even if they don't seem like they're beneficial at the time. They do level us up in a big way. So you're officially over. Okay, Moni, we went to get her stuff, and another lady's stuff is there. Oh God. Okay. So yeah, I was just because I just before I asked the question, I was like I just get this feeling Monique's moved it back in with Mama. Okay, yeah. So that means you went and got your stuff. Okay, I am so sorry. Okay. I'm not gonna call names. I'm not gonna call people names. Okay, but that's pretty good. I mean, just wow, fast turnaround. Yeah. All right, so yeah, we've got the Lovers reversed and we've got the Ace of Pentacles reversed. I don't want to say that this, and I'm not saying that this relationship had no value and had no worth, because it did. It did have value, it did have worth, and it did serve its purpose for the time that it lasted. There were, just like with every relationship, there were hard times, there were tough times, there were challenges, but there were also good times too. However, Ace of Pentacles is all about foundations, laying foundations, and this castle was built on sand. The foundations that are necessary to lay out prior to embarking on a long-term relationship just weren't there. And I feel like it's of no fault of your own, and it's of no fault of Ivan's. It's, you know, I'm almost 40 years old, and like when I was younger, I didn't know what those foundations precisely were. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to see what they are. But when I was younger, I definitely, there's no guidebook to this kind of stuff, Yeah, a lesson to be learned. Yeah. There's no guidebook to these things about when we should move in with someone, or when we should decide to be with someone, or when we should decide to not be with someone. We've got to navigate it on our own, or with the help of loved ones as well, and tarot and spirit. But there's no real like set of rules there, and so we're all navigating it on our own. But especially when you're younger, it can be difficult to A, know those foundations, know what those foundations are, and B, lay them out properly. And yeah, here's a weird one. So it's not weird, but Lovers Reverse. So I talk about soulmates a lot, and this isn't a soulmate reading, but he was and is a soulmate of yours. And that's where I'm saying this because for other people to hear as well. In order, because someone's a soulmate in your life doesn't mean that they're going to be in your life forever. One, but two, the main function of soulmates is to learn lessons. We're talking about learning lessons here. The main purpose of soulmates, whether they stay in our life long term or are in it for a short amount of time or an indefinite or definitive amount of time, is that it's something for us to learn and to grow from. And I see that while the two of you were meant to be, you were meant to have this relationship that you did have, it wasn't meant to be long-term. He's not your long-term partner. There's another fellow out there for you. And I'm going to get to that in a moment. I'm seeing that here as well. We've the Seven of Cups reversed and the Fool. I was talking, earlier I was saying how, we don't know exactly what, all of the necessary components are in order to lay a strong foundational groundwork for a new relationship. However, you took that, you went ahead and embarked on this journey anyway, and there's true wisdom in the Fool and the behavior of the Fool. The Fool takes that journey. It's the first card in the entire deck. It's the first card in the major arcana. And the Fool is actually very wise. The Fool takes that journey, takes that step off that cliff, despite the fact that they know that they might end up getting hurt. They might end up getting hurt. But if they don't take that journey, then they'll never have experienced anything. And there is that phrase, it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. While this time is not the time to focus on them, it's not the time to be looking back at things, the good aspects of you and Ivan. Right now is the time to focus on you and the road ahead. And there's always time for fond nostalgia once we've emotionally moved on from someone, which will happen. You will get over him. I'm sure you already feel it happening. I hope you already feel it starting to happen. But you fully will be over him. And at that point, you can have free reign to look back at things, at the things that were good about it. But if you're gonna think anything, think about him at all right now. Remind yourself of the reasons why things had to come to an end. At least that's just that's not just personal advice from me. That's what I try to do when I go through breakups. Is if they pop when they pop into my brain, I think of a crappy thing that they did to me or that happened between us, and it's just like, well, yeah, no, like, yeah, there was that good aspect, but like, there was this larger reason why this couldn't be, and he just simply wasn't the long-term man for you with the Seven of Cups reversed. You're a very young lady. There will likely be other gentlemen in your future. In fact, no doubt there will be other gentlemen in your future. And there's going to be one special fellow who's going to have you for the rest of his life and the rest of your life. And there is that saying, I hate to sound like, I sound like my therapist. I legit sound like my therapist, the first breakup that I went through. And I'm not saying this is your first breakup, but like the first semi-serious breakup. The first serious breakup I went through, I was not told this, but, it was a serious breakup. Yeah, I had to go to a therapist. But he told me, he was like, well, girl, you're 15 years old. I know you're older than that, but I was 15 or 16. 15. I was either 15 or 16. He goes, girl, you're this old. You have to kiss a lot of frogs before you get. And he was gay too, so sorry if I sound gay, but you have to kiss a lot of frogs until you find your prince, right, honey? And he was saying this to like a 15, 16-year-old girl who, hey, Deb, welcome, whose heart had just been ripped out and like thrown in the toilet and like stomped on ritualistically. So I hate saying that because I don't want to sound dismissive, because it felt dismissive to hear that from my therapist at the time, but it really is true, and I know it's a phrase that we've all heard, but it's pretty rare. It's odd. I was actually thinking about this, Monique, when I was driving a couple days ago. It is pretty rare that people, are with people that they're with when they're very, very young, for an extended amount of time. But it doesn't mean that we don't take that we don't try, that we don't take that leap of faith. Because I know a lot of people that are too afraid to take that leap of faith, girl. They're too afraid to get hurt, so they just don't take. And Wendy, we've talked about this. Me and Wendy have gone through this too, where you're just too afraid to even take any steps forward. And we just received a donation. Speaking of which, we just received a donation from Miss Wendy. I'm doing great, Deb. Thank you. How are you, honey? Go ahead and... the wisdom of the fool, taking that leap, taking that leap forward into the unknown, even if you might end up getting hurt, because, and I know I'm saying all these old adages, like, better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all, gotta kiss a lot of frogs before you get to your kiss, but they really do have there really is so much wisdom in those sayings. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you, love. Yes, God bless you. This really struck me when I pulled these cards, Monique. The 10 of Wands and the Death card. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there was like trouble started brewing in paradise. And I don't know, like, your mom didn't tell me anything, or she didn't, like, I didn't hear anything from your mama or anything. This is just like purely coming from me. So you can correct me if I'm wrong here. Right, Wendy, heartache is hard at any age. Like, I'm talking like I'm like so good at handling it now. Like, well, I am better at, I don't know if I'm better at handling, a little better handling it than when I was younger, but it's still tough. It's hard at any age, yeah. And but Monique, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like trouble started brewing in paradise around 4 or 5 months ago. Am I correct there? Like I said, this is nothing that I heard from your mom or anything, or through the what other grapevine would there be? The only way I know anything about you is your mom. I know it wasn't something your mom questioned or anything like that. I just I'm seeing that there were some troubles. There were some troubles in paradise, and I don't think that they just started happening. I feel like these were things that have. Yeah, it's about that time. Yeah, oh, yeah, that's what I'm feeling, because I feel like this Ten of Wands, these troubles, like nothing was done to resolve them. He didn't do anything to resolve what the trouble that was brewing on the horizon. Sounds like he kind of like, I don't know. Do you know if this girl knew about you, or do you think he kept you a secret for a while? Regardless, she's still foolish. She actually is a fool to go forward with a guy who's just gotten out of a relationship. Like, wow, okay. Good luck, babe. Good luck, honey bunny. Like, he's gonna be bounced, but yeah, yeah. These were problems that he didn't do anything to rectify. He didn't do anything to change, and it's almost like he started brewing it himself. He started talking to her. He started things. I don't feel like she enticed or seduced him. I'll tell you that. I don't feel like that happened. To me, he made it seem like everyone at his work knew about me. I assume she knows about me. Okay, they work together. Okay. That's trouble brewing on the horizon. Oh my God, right, Jessica, you hear me, and right, Wendy, you hear me talk all the time about how it's not advantageous to date someone y'all work with. Thank you so much for your donation, Deb. Let me go ahead and add you quickly here to the list. All right. Yeah, he didn't do anything to rectify it. And he could have stopped things. But he allowed things to keep moving forward. And Spirit's saying that he didn't intentionally try to hurt you. And I don't know if you feel like he did or not, like he was doing this to try and hurt you. I don't feel like he did. I do feel like he could have stopped it from happening. But I really feel like he didn't want to hurt you. That was not an intention of his. Whereas I have seen that be intentional. People really trying to hurt another person, spite another person. Shoot, I think I've been that person in past connections with people, like people using me to get back at an ex. I think that's happened. But that's not. He was not trying to hurt you here, and I don't know why Spirit's really bringing this up. So I'm getting some extra info here. Oh! Great news! Justice. Yeah. So he didn't try to hurt you, but he is going to get his. He is going to get his karmic justice. Like the way he treated you is going to come back to him. He's going to ache, or he's going to hurt the way he hurt you. He's going to feel it. And I don't know how it's going to manifest, but he's not going to be happy. It's not going to be harmonious with this Ten of Cups reverse. And I'm honestly thinking it's this. So she's already moved in. That's ridiculous. That is so like wham bam, like way too fast. Oh my God, you need to know something. Like, I know they work together and know each other and have been having an affair. I don't know how long for, but that is so fast. Oh my God, talk about like gas, like pedal to the metal, unnecessary. That is going to crash and burn. They work together. She's a rebound, whether she wants to accept it or not. I don't know if she's just gotten out of a relationship as well. But this is also, whatever they've got going on, they're not laying the groundwork for something that's long lasting. And I'm not saying this, to make you like feel better about the situation. It's just something Spirit wants you to know. You're gonna see that, that karma really does work. Karma really is a bitch. Karma really is a reality, and you'll see the direct cause and effect. And it's something that, that's another thing, that we learn And it's not to say that you didn't believe in karma, but it's something that spirit really wants to show you is like, yeah, you're gonna really see this like come crumbling down on him, um, possibly them. I think that's why they're bringing it up here, just to exemplify karmic payback, and yeah, you guys had a happy home for a while there, and there was harmony for a little while there. But now it's time to restore that harmony within your new home. The High Priestess reversed is the High Priestess upright and reversed is a sign of breaking free, of setting oneself free, like setting a course like on one's own elsewhere. And with this Four of Wands, fostering harmony in a new environment, learning from your new environment, adaptations, and also remembering to listen to your intuition at all times. Sometimes, especially if we're feeling an emotional upheaval of some type, sometimes it can be particularly difficult to listen to our intuition or trust our intuition as much as we normally would. But yours is very, very strong, and especially right now. And Spirit is saying, you know, definitely listen to it. Yeah, now is a time of rebalancing yourself, restoring harmony within yourself and your environment, your new environment. And that's also part of this Justice card too, restoring balance. Balance will be restored. And I think another thing that I'm not seeing in the cards here, but I'm hearing it in the narrative. I think another thing that can be learned from this overall too is taking things slowly. If he's moving things as quick, I don't know how fast you guys moved things. I'm just going to assume that you guys moved things really quickly at the start of your relationship just because of this Ace of Pentacles reverse. There wasn't a strong foundation. Time probably would have been something that time is a factor. Time would have laid a stronger foundation, and just like he didn't lay the foundations correctly for you and him, looks like that's what he's doing again. Looks like he's repeating the same things. And if there's anything to learn from this, you know, I think taking one's time is definitely advantageous. Not rushing into things. Because you may have seen signs, possibly, if you had taken things a little slower, or you might have heard things from another source, or something might have even intuitively told you. But regardless, you know, I think that it was important for you to experience a relationship that doesn't have that foundation, so that you know how and just how crucial it is to have that to have that framework, that groundwork, the onset of a relationship, just for additional stability there. But yeah, you're definitely going to see karma work in some mysterious ways here, Monique. It's going to, he's going to get it. He's definitely going to, because yeah, your spirit guides, his spirit guides. No, Spirit is not pleased with any of this, and he needs to learn from this. And the only person, there's no person who can really teach him anything here. But Spirit can, life can, karma can, and you're gonna see that. Yeah. So I'm you know, as unfortunate it is that things had to end this way. I'm so glad that you did get away, and you know, you have so much love. Your family loves you so much, and you know, you have a lovely home to be in, and this is just a brand new, fresh start for you, girl. You know, you're so young, and you can really embark on anything that you want to, starting here. I mean, not to say that you couldn't have when you were with him, but it's a lot easier to maneuver when one is single, as I'm sure you're remembering now. You know, that feeling like you can really do anything, you can do whatever you want, go any direction you choose, and there's a lot of potential there, and yeah. This was, like I said, this was something that Spirit, as painful as it was, it's something that Spirit did. There were definitely lessons there that Spirit did want you to recognize. I was in and out, but thanks so much, Sophie. She loves your readings; they're very helpful. Oh, you're so welcome. You are so welcome, ladies. Thank you. I appreciate you very much, and yeah, you got this. You got this, girl. He sounds like I don't want to call him names, but he sounds like a schmuck. I mean, that is just, that, I can't believe she's already, there's ladies things there already. That's it. I feel like that says a lot about him. I think you did. I'm really glad you got away from that situation. Much love and light to you, girl. Thank you so much, ladies. Wendy, thank you very much for your donation, Wendy. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. You're so welcome, Monique. You are very welcome, girl. You so got this, and I'm so proud of you for having the courage to move away when you needed to, and you know, and I'm just so grateful that you've got such loving, supportive family around you, and onwards and upwards, girl. Only good things. Fresh new start from here. Much love and light to you, ladies. Good night. Take care. Hope you had a good spa night. Oh, I did, girl. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I had a great spa night last night. I can tell you a little bit more about it offline. I just need to grab a sweater. I just got chilly. It was so warm today, you guys. Like, to the point where, like, I, had my windows open. I don't think y'all understand. I live in San Francisco, right near the ocean, so it's very, very cold. Well, it's like consistently like in the early 60s, like every day of the week, like every day of the year. So I have my sweater on. Will do, Wendy. Yeah, it's definitely some tea. Oh, good lord. Yeah. But I'll send it to you right now. I'll tell you what happened. And you don't have to read it right now, but I'm just while I'm waiting for you to take the question. It's pretty funny. I don't know if I call it funny. Maybe. Are you typing your question, love? Okay, I sent it. Read at your leisure. What's the flirting style of my next love? Let's see. What is the flirting style of your next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? That's actually a really strategic, very smart question. Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Ancient masters and spirit guides, what is the flirting style of Wendy's next love? Okay. Knight of Cups. The High Priestess reversed. 10 of Pentacles. 9 of Swords reversed. And Justice. Damn, girl. It's almost like flirting isn't even like a thing. I know, for real, right? Like, major coinky dink. Out of all the people, like, it's not even like a, yeah, anyway. And yeah, I'll tell you another funny aspect of that. Anyway, so I love this. It's almost like flirting, like he's not, he's almost above flirting. I get like he's going to like completely like seduce you and romance you and enchant you with this beautiful Knight of Cups here. Knight of Cups being the knight in shining armor. I was real happy when I saw that. We've got something about intuition here with the High Priestess reversed. Like I feel like you'll intuit. You won't. When I said, you know, oh, that's a really smart question. That's a strategic question to ask. You know, like because that'll help you identify, you know, who your next love's gonna be by the way dude flirts with you. I understand that, and that's a great cheat. That's a great cheat code. I like that. But Spirit is saying that while I'm sure flirtation is part of it. Flirting is almost like elementary to this guy. This guy is like I think he's going to be a Leo. He's definitely a romantic, maybe a Scorpio, but a super hopeless romantic. And with the High Priestess reversed, it's like you will intuitively know that he likes you, girl. You'll know. Like he's going to pull out the red carpet for you. And don't doubt your intuition here. You may feel at times like, you know, is he love bombing me? Is this real? You know, but he's not love bombing you. This is the real deal. It sucks that love bombing has become that's even a thing, that's even become a term. I want to know when it entered like the modern lexicon, the term love bomb. But it's like, why can't, you know, there are people who you know, lavish people with affection from the onset. And it's real and it's genuine. I guess you just remove the word bomb and just say he's really going to shower you with love and affection. He wants something really real, girl. He wants the 10 of Pentacles. He wants a 10 of Pentacles situation. And with the 10 of Pentacles, he also has a lot of resources to enchant and romance you. He has the time, he has the money, he has the energy, he has the emotional availability. And this is something, yeah, like the High Priestess reversed, the 9 of Swords reversed. Spirit's saying you're not, like, don't overthink it because you don't have to. Like, you really don't have to this time. This guy's the real deal. So I guess, in short, his flirting style is very grandiose. Very grandiose. Very direct. want, yes, you'll know. Like, he will make it very clear to you. Like, he may, like, I don't know, send you like a dozen roses the day after your first date, saying like, I want to get to know you better and spend more time with you. Can we plan our next date? Like, I'm talking like old school romancing here. And a guy who really knows what he wants, and it's you. And there's nothing hotter than that. When a guy knows what he wants, that's really sexy. And it's really sexy when it's you. Well, so long as it's the right guy, right? Um, and with this Justice card, I see this being a beautiful balance. Like, you're going to like him just as much as he likes you. I do see you questioning sometimes, like, is this for real? Is he for real? Is this guy for real? Like, don't be surprised if he, like, that's probably a bad example, but don't be surprised if he, like, whisks you off to, like, somewhere romantic, like, off the cuff, and, like, pays for everything and, like, takes care of everything. Or, like, randomly, takes you on surprise, like, picnics, like, to really gorgeous places, or, like, 5-star restaurants, like, that are really hard to get reservations to. He's got those reservations. He knows he wants you. This guy is going to know without a doubt that he wants to be with you, that you're the one for him. Until they prove consistency. Right. Well, yeah, and I do too. And I say, even though Spirit's saying you don't have to do that this time, that it's still prudent to do that. I feel like we all have to do that, especially this day and age. Still, don't rush into things, as I tell everybody, don't rush into anything, but Spirit is saying, like, this time it's not love bombing, this time it's the real deal, and he's really, very, very, has a very dramatic but sincere flourish when it comes to his flirting style. I'm ready for this connection. I'm so ready for you to be in this connection too, girl. I absolutely am. And thank you very much, love. Thank you. Yeah, I'll tell you more about last night after I go live. There's some other details too. Miss Deb, thank you very much for your donation. Please go ahead and post your question right there in the chat. Thank you. Hi, Deb. Virgo, what is CB's current energy towards me? How is he currently feeling about me? So do you want me to ask how he's currently feeling about you, or do you want me to ask what his current energy is towards you? How he's currently feeling. Okay. angels, messengers, and spirit guides. How is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? And please remind me, Deb, is this the guy that's long distance? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? Angels, messengers, and spirit guides, how is CB currently feeling towards Deb? And yes, it's the other one you probably remember about. I'm curious because I've been randomly thinking about him lately. No, it's the one that's not long distance. CB. Is he the troublesome one? You remember the long distance one too? Yeah, I did. Yeah. We have the Devil, Six of Wands, Six of Cups, Eight of Swords reversed. Wow. And Five of Swords. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely still, he's the crazy one. I feel like he's manifesting me. I don't know why I've been thinking about him lately. Oh, girl, I think I told you, like, a crazy tried to infiltrate my life not too long ago, and I just nipped that in the bud. Those people don't make any sense. Yeah, this guy is still thinking about you. He's still got very strong feelings about you. He still thinks, yeah, he thinks about you at least multiple times a day, which is, you know, we can say that's flattering. And yeah, who wouldn't think about you multiple times a day? You're amazing. You're a catch. But when those feelings are not reciprocated, and that person has clearly has pushed you away, and you've acted crazy towards them, what is going on? And all he does is think about like the Delulu aspect of things. Like when he thinks about you and him, he sees sunshine and rainbows. Yeah, he feels bound to you. Yeah, let's talk about the Devil. He still feels bound to you, but y'all weren't bound to one another at any point. You've never been bound. But not only is the Devil about bondage, and so is the Eight of Swords too. We'll get to that in a moment. But not only is it about being bound, but it's also about temptation. Like he just can't stop feeling feelings for you. He still can't. We've got both. Check this out, girl. I just realized something. Holy crap. We literally have the victory card, V for victory, the Six of Wands, and we've got the defeat card, the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is about accepting defeat. The Six of Wands is about celebrating a victory, celebrating a win. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, when exactly was there ever a win between the two of you? When did he ever have a successful, moment with you? He's in Delulu land. He is still completely delusional. And while part of him has accepted past defeat, what is the win? Yeah, that's what I'm getting into that right now. While part of him understands, okay, she pushed me away, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I accept, but I'm still gonna win. I'm still gonna get her back. I'm still gonna win her over somehow, some way. I'm gonna do it. She just doesn't see me for who I really am. She's blinded to what a great guy I really am, and she'll eventually see what a great guy I am. Like, it is just, this guy's completely out to lunch dead. This always happens when I'm talking about this guy. I get like all like the weird like air in my chest comes up. Yeah, girl. Yeah, I can't emphatically say enough. Like, this guy is loco. This guy is delusional. He is crazy. So it's not revenge. He just wants me to come to my senses. Pretty much. He believes that you're going to. He believes that you're going to come to your senses and want him. And then you say the same things every time. And that's why I was like, okay, so who is this person? Because they like have very strong feelings for you, but it's like determined feelings. And then I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. But you told me already that it was the troublesome guy. Yeah, and that's creepy. This Five of Swords and Six of Wands. Literally we have, yeah, I accept that I didn't win that last time, but there's a victory on the horizon. Because yeah, where, there's no victory in the past, there's no victory in the present. So the only victory that he could be thinking about is future victory, and that's also the Six of Cups is thinking to the future, idealizing someone or a relationship one had. Like he's like looking back at the connection, every conversation you had, and seeing it as like him making you laugh, him making you smile, him being good to you. He's completely out to lunch. I know it's crazy, but I still care. I just don't think it's healthy between us. I'm surprised it's still strong feeling. It's very unhealthy, girl. I don't know what they're. I mean, is he just? I don't understand what there's to care for. And I'm such an empath. I'm such an empathic person, and I end up caring about the people that I shouldn't care about a lot of the time. But I, at least, like, I'll see some reason as to why I do. Either I feel sorry for them, or maybe they're just like super hot, but they're like really unstable. But like they're not bad people. But this guy is just like, I would go so far as to say like he's borderline a bad person. Not with intention, but the way he's so ill that he would just be an absolute menace. Out of curiosity, I went to his IG and he posted a quote about women who goes to weaker men after being corrected. Feel crazy for still having a soft spot and seeing the good in him. Yeah, that's the kind of crap that those kind of guys say. He thinks he's some superior man, and he thinks that you're going to have some revelation and be like, oh, I do need him. Yeah, I wonder what it is there, Deb. I really recommend doing a cord cutting ritual for him. He's not serving you. He's not serving anything in your life. He's not providing you with anything in your life, and you don't want him long term in your life. That would just eradicate all these feelings, and you wouldn't even have to think about him. So I guess that's shade to me or his other exes. I think it's to both, girl. I think it's shade to you. Probably every woman he's dealt with, like every woman who rejected him. He's basically saying, they just go to weaker men. I'm too strong for them. I'm too good for them. And it's always those guys who say that they're the best, that say that they're like the creme de la creme, that are like really at the bottom of the barrel. Like they're like the dregs, girl. I tried to do cord cutting, but I was waiting on things to play out. Yeah, that's why I didn't. You gotta just cut the cord, girl. It's like having a baby. You gotta just cut that cord. If you wait on things to play out, I wouldn't even wait for things to play out, girl. We've already seen how things played out, and it's awful. He's not helping you in any way here. He's not serving you in any way. I would just cut that cord. And I know that feeling of like, oh, well, what if something happens? But the only thing that could possibly happen here, Deb, that would make this work between the two of you is if he suddenly wasn't mentally ill. And that's never going to happen. He's not going to get the help. And even the help that is available to him, I don't think is going to cure this. He's got some really warped thinking. And yeah, that's the only thing that could possibly play out for the positive, I think. And I think that's an actual impossibility. He had got in my head and made me think I self-sabotage. Yeah, that's the manipulation part. He's trying to manipulate you into like wanting to be with him or thinking that you should be with him. Don't let him do that. He's trying to get, yeah, he's that's precisely what he's doing. He's trying to get in your head because he can't get in your heart. Yeah, and I, you know me, I almost always say like it's not an impossible possibility. Anything is possible, but in this case, I'm pretty much saying that it's impossible, girl. At this point, he's too far gone, and he's just not. Even if he were to have the vulnerability to let go and accept help, I don't even think there's enough help for him to really change him the way you need him to change, and the way that he needs to change in general. Um, So I really recommend doing a cord cutting ritual. I think this is the perfect example of just like there's nothing to see play out here. He's not well, and he's a detriment. He would be a disservice to you, and has been. He knows I cared and had feelings though, but he said he was in therapy after his divorce. Yeah, he really needs more help than just therapy. And I don't even if he is in therapy, I hate to say it, but he needs a different therapist, or he needs more, or he's not listening. But yeah, I don't know why I never thought. I don't. Maybe you didn't tell me that he went through a divorce, but there's a lot of dudes that go through divorce that end up acting like this girl. I've met dudes who talk and act this way, and it's usually after they're unhealed from a divorce, and a lot of them didn't do a whole lot of dating in their 20s because they were married, and now they're trying to navigate this new world, and they can't just get women like, you know, super easily, and you know, they don't know how to navigate a world that they're trying to navigate, and he's not healed or even remotely well, and that might have been why his wife even left him. He's just, yeah, he's just a mess that you don't need to clean up, honey. And don't let him weaponize the fact that he knows that you cared about him. Like he'll only weaponize that against you. The most powerful thing you can do from this point forward is to show that you don't give a rat's ass about him, even if you have to fake it till you make it. Yeah, that was in the past readings. I think I told you about the girl he left the ex-wife for. Wow, I don't remember that. I'm sure you did. I believe you when you say that you told me, but for some reason I'm not remembering that. Wow, that's gross. There was drama around that too. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it sounds like this guy's unhinged, girl. I don't. Maybe he's just really, really gorgeous, and there's some chemistry there, and he's funny. I don't know what it is you see in him. There's something there. Could just be all the manipulation he's doing. I don't know, but he just sounds like a bad guy. His intentions aren't good. He was even posting about female narcissists a while ago. I'm like, pot meets kettle. Yeah, it's always the narcissists who are calling everyone else a narcissist. That's why I've started like not using that term quite as much, because it's like I can't just call everyone. First of all, I'm not like certified to say that. I'm not a professional, and I have noticed that it's usually the narcissists who call everyone else one. They don't have a mirror. They just see themselves, or they like basically are their mirror, and they see themselves and everybody else. They're afraid of, they know their bad behaviors. Like when narcissists are cheaters, they're the type to always accuse their partners of cheating on them because they're the ones who are doing it. You know what I'm talking about? He's a businessman. He came off stable and family oriented when we met. He had qualities that I like in a man. Exactly. Yeah, I've met those kind of guys, girl, where they on paper and at the surface they look like they have it together because they did at one point, but they may as well be like totally irrational, like 16-year-old boys at this point because they're so out of the loop. You're always confused about what I saw in him. Is it that bad? Girl, I am confounded. Confused doesn't even touch the surface. Yes, I'm more than confused. I don't see it at all. I mean, I don't know what he looks like. That's all I can think of is maybe he's super duper fine. Like, but what you just explained, I can hear it. You know, he comes off. You know, he came across as together when you first met him. He was a family man. He had it together, has it together still financially. He's able to hold that down. But when it comes to his interpersonal life, he's a wreck. He's an absolute wreck. And yeah, you and there's another client I have. I legit am just like, what is it that you like about this person? Like, are they funny? Do they have a big woo woo? Like that. I mean, that doesn't apply to you, but like, you know what I mean? Like, what is, you know, what is it that you see in this person? You know, and yeah, there's a few people who and I'll just, I am genuinely curious, and I'm trying to illuminate, you know, what are the pros and what are the cons here? Like, are the, you know, are the things that you like about him, do they outweigh the things that you don't like about him? Make a list, you know. If it comes down to that, like what's good about him and what's problematic, and I'm gonna guess which column is gonna be longer. You know, not trying to be pessimistic, just based on all the readings we've done. You just, you know, you're an independent woman, girl. You know, compare the pros and cons. Yeah. Make a list of his pros. Make a list of his cons. Um, yeah, actually that just came off the top of my head, and I think that's a great idea. Literally, just make a list. You know, the things that you think are good about him. And if you want to add little like you know, footnotes, like I thought this about him, but then he said this, and then it turned into this. You know, you can even do that. Make a little map. Getting a little deep there, but yeah, or just a simple pros and cons list, the good things, the bad things, and see which list see which side is longer, see which side has more substance to it, you know. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, you're such a capable woman, girl. You're so beautiful, and you're so like just together and independent, strong. You're a strong, independent woman, and you know your value, you know your worth, you know your value. So that, I think that's another reason why I'm so confused in this situation too. It's just like I see this shining star, and then I see this like salamander like hiding underneath a log. Like where does one even find a man like this? No, I'm just kidding. Someone said that to me once about someone I was dating. They're like, dude, you date, like, where do you find most of the men you date? Like, underneath like, mossy logs or something? Like, well, these guys are salamanders, shoot. Yeah, so, of course, love, you're very welcome. I'm just keeping it real. I'm not trying to kiss your ass. I'm just keeping it real. Like, I see a woman like you, or I see, yeah, a woman like you, a woman like you, you know, have affection for dudes that just aren't worth it. And there's dudes out there that totally are worth it, and that would actually feel so grateful. Not to say that he wouldn't feel grateful to have you, because he would, but he wouldn't treat you right. It would all be on his terms. Yeah, you definitely know your value. You know your worth, and that's really important. I have a lot of clients and friends and people I know alike that don't know their value. And that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But you've got it. You know. And so that's why I'm confused. It's just like, but also the heart works in mysterious ways. I also know, like I just said, I get a lot of crap from people about certain dudes in my life too, and have in the past. And yeah, it's just good to I guess evaluate what it really is we're drawn to in that person. And you know, those qualities that you mentioned that were positive at first, but then he proved to be a weirdo. Those qualities are found in other men. Yeah, they're hard to find, but they're found in other men. And, as long as, you keep searching, keep yourself available. And I mean, yeah, like I said, they're not the easiest qualities to find, but when those qualities are accompanied by someone being a psycho, being delusional, being totally unhinged and out of touch with reality, those qualities aren't really what they are to begin with. It changes those qualities. You want those qualities. You want a man who's emotionally available, is a family man, has the same values as you, but is also, you know, emotionally well. Well, he's the first one I've been through this much trauma and confusion with. Okay. Well, we seem to have a connection initially as well. I remember. And then there was the whole car fiasco, police fiasco. Once the police get involved, that's when I say bye. Bye bye. I've only had to deal with the popo one time in a relationship. No. I didn't even break up. I didn't even say I was breaking up with the guy. It was just like, hello, you think I'm really gonna be with you after this? Like, what? Oh, that was a different guy. Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Okay, different problematic guy. Okay. But you guys, okay, so what, I mean, if you want to jog my memory, that's RJ. I don't know how the beginning of this how this connection began. I think it began as a work connection. Am I correct? He wanted to work with you, or yeah. No, RJ was definitely canceled. Um, yeah, I haven't seen him since January. Good. Um, yeah, I mean, things. Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think there was initial chemistry, and chemistry can be hard to find. There's people who I really like, who I go on dates with. They're really nice people. They make me laugh, but there's just no chemistry. And what do you do there? And then conversely, I've dated people where it's just all chemistry, and then when it comes to everything else, there isn't much substance there. And then what you want is a balance of chemistry and substance. And like I said, it's hard to find either of those things. It's hard to find someone that you can just connect with, and then it's hard to find someone with chemistry. It's hard, and then it's hard to find both at the same time. So I can understand how we can succumb to getting drawn into someone affectionately, despite knowing that it's not going to work, because at least they provided one aspect of something that we're looking for. Yeah, I met him through his business, and he wanted to do business, so he lied about us having chemistry and him loving me. I don't know. When did I say he lied to you? No, that's what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is, it sounds like that's kind of all you guys had was chemistry. Love, people love in different ways. Now, if him loving you, if that's how he shows it, I think that says a whole hell of a lot there, Deb. If that's how he shows that he loves someone, do you really want to be with someone like that? Do I think he loved you? And yes, I do. In the way that he loves people. We've talked about this. Everybody loves in their own way, and when someone's not mentally well, it could look like hate. And it's not. I think he does. I think he's totally infatuated and at the very least in love with you. And no, I don't think he lied about that. And I don't think he lied. And I didn't say deny. That's the thing. That's what I was saying. Is I think that's probably the one thing you guys did have was chemistry, and it ended there. You guys have a very high it's natural. It happens with certain people. It's biological, and it defies, emotions and our mind. So our bodies don't take into consideration, this guy is cuckoo. We have physical chemistry, but he's totally insane. Our bodies don't understand that. Our bodies can't comprehend that. Our bodies are just hardwired for procreating. So we're still animals at the end of the day. which is a weird way of putting it, but it's true. You know, we have these primal urges, these primal feelings, chemistry in this case, but very real human needs that are not being met or don't jive, essentially, with the positives. You know? So, no, I don't think any of this is false because of his issues. I'm not negating any of his feelings because of his issues. Yeah, I want to make that clear. Just because he's mentally ill doesn't mean that he doesn't legitimately have feelings for you. He does, but he's mentally ill. And I'm not saying nobody who's mentally ill should be able to date. No, I'm not saying that at all. But people who are so far gone and unwilling to get adequate help or unable to get adequate help, and it's at the detriment of, and they're at the risk of hurting someone who they're with, that's where I say, you know, it's not that they don't deserve to be loved or have love, but there's things they need to work. He needs to learn how to love himself and take care of his mental health and likely get over. I don't think he's over his divorce, to be honest. I don't think he's over the trauma of all that crap, the mistakes he made, the failure there. I don't think he's over it. I think it really messed him up, and I'm not making excuses for him, but that's a big one there. Yeah, you've explained everything really good. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Deb. I'm sorry. I know I'm like a broken record here, but I keep on getting like different thoughts, and they're just different variations of a recurring theme. So I've been on for a little over 2 hours now. So I am going to do what we do at this time every night. I'm going to do last call for all donations tonight. If you have a question that you would like me to answer for you, please just send your donation in, and I will happily take care of it because I'm not tired, I'm not hungry, I'm here channeling spirit and happy to answer any of your questions. And thank you so much, Deb. I really appreciate you, and I hope I brought you clarity there. Today is Sunday. I almost forgot today is Sunday. Yeah, today is Sunday. Tomorrow is Monday. I should be. I'm getting a little sleepy. All right, love. Well, yeah, because I think you're on the East Coast. I don't quite remember, but time difference. I believe we have at least an hour time difference. So you get some good sleep tonight, Deb. I was just thinking to myself, it's Sunday night, so tomorrow's Monday morning. We've got a whole week ahead of us now. You get a good night's rest, Miss Love. Thank you so much, Deb. I really appreciate you, and hope I brought you clarity this evening. Thank you. I knew you were in mine. I actually don't know. I didn't know if it was I didn't think it was Mountain. I thought it was either Central or Eastern, but I knew you weren't on the same one as me. I remember people because I try to remember where people are, for this reason, like, you know, so I don't go on too late. Like I probably wouldn't go on at like midnight Pacific time because it would be 3 a.m. Eastern time, you know. Yeah. I always take that into account. That's why I try to go on around 4 my time, because I think most of my clients are on East Coast time, so I'm I'm catering to you guys when I go on early. But yeah, I always bear that in mind. I also try to keep my European folks in mind too, because sometimes I can catch my Australian and New Zealand folks if I go on at like just the right time, stuff like that. Last call tonight. Last call for any and all donations. If you have a burning question that needs to be answered tonight, I'm more than happy to answer for you. Yeah, I've got a lot of people Central too. Yeah. I'd say probably the least amount of people are. I probably have more Mountain people than Pacific time. I have very few Pacific time people, which is interesting. Mostly East Coasters. on my Chan. And then a lot of the tarot readers that I follow most of them are on the East Coast too, and a lot of them go on early in the morning, so it's like 4 in the morning when they go on. I'm like, whoa. I forgot to also say, I knew that devil card was coming out too. Really? Do you read for yourself, Deb? I've probably asked you this in the past, but do you read for yourself, and do you pull that card when you ask about him? Because I've found that, I just mentioned, you know, I do go to other readers from time to time. I do read for myself. I try not to, depending on the situation, depending on how emotionally invested I am in the situation. But I read for myself, and then it's kind of like going to another doctor and getting a second opinion. You know, I like to see, because I always see repetition of cards. Yeah. And so I'm sure you notice, so you notice too that there's that repetition of cards, and I think the devil is like super apropos for this situation. Like he still feels bound to you, still feels drawn to you, but there is that connotation of like negativity, like a negative, being drawn to someone in an unhealthy way when it comes to the devil. Oh, I didn't start my timer when I said last call for donation. The ads keep playing. I'm sorry, hun. That's weird because I've gotten like hardly any ads because I have it on my phone and then I have it on my laptop, and not too many ads came up tonight for me. I'm sorry you got a lot of ads tonight. I can't control it. It's YouTube, girl. But if it's any solace, I do get commission for every ad that's played. So at least it helps me eat, right? Last call tonight. Anybody? No? Last call for all donations. I think it's been about 3 minutes. I'm going to call it a night. Thank you all so very, very much. And I will see y'all tomorrow. I came on a little bit late tonight. Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you, Deb. Thank you so much, love. You take care. I will do my best to go on tomorrow night, and I will also do my best. I went on a little late today. I started my day a little late, so I will try to I will try to go on around like 4 tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Deb. That means a lot to me. It really does. Thank you. Yeah, I need to get my website going, because I've seen a lot of other tarot readers have testimonials and stuff from people they read for, and those kind of words really mean a lot to me. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to call it a wonderful, wonderful night. Thank you all so very much, and I will likely see y'all